This is Store Lungegårdsvann, a beacon of greenery and nature in the heart of Bergen municipality. For many years, the local population has gathered along the water for leisure, swimming, and fishing. In the 1920s, it was decided that the shores would grow larger, while the water would diminish as the gateway to Lungegårdsvann was closed. Throughout the 1950s and beyond, relentless construction eroded the shores, compelling the water to adapt to rising transportation demands. The natural habitats that once flourished around Store Lungegårdsvann have been profoundly affected by the urbanization of Bergen. The creeping tide of pollution over the years. A telling photograph from 1930 illustrates this impact, revealing typewriters discarded into the water, an indelible mark of human influence. The water quality, now hazardous for both humans and animals, serves as a stark reminder of our profound effect on this delicate ecosystem. In 1997, on the shores of Store Lungegårdsvann, a hopeful experiment began, an eco-park envisioned to restore balance between human life and nature, creating a time of optimism. Yet, as the years rolled on, the complexities of urban life crept in. Pollution, urban sprawl, and shifting priorities began to fray the edges of this delicate vision. Can the Store Lungegårdsvann case be solved to the best of everyone, or does it represent a wicked problem with only wicked solutions? In the 2000s, 10's fresh plans emerged to restore these vital spaces and transform Store Lungegårds Park into a symbol of a greener city, a true green lung. However, the journey has been fraught with challenges, and the once thriving area now appears ensnared in a rock jungle. At the heart of this stalled project lies a wicked problem, each solution breeding new challenges. Multiple voices converge, each with its own vision for the future. Further on in this reportage, we will focus on 3 angles to this wicked problem: economic, environmental, and social. Each fragment offers a subtly satirical portrayal of our investigation, a microcosm reminiscent of echo chambers, highlighting the intricate spectacle of Store Lungegårdsvann. Rather than offering simple solutions, we will explore the layers of contention, where the promise of progress meets the harsh realities of stagnation. Working together, these 3 dimensions can contribute to sustainable development. Working against each other, they can push policy making into further wickedness. First, let's look at the economic aspect of this problem.
The Store Lungegårdsvann project came with an impressive budget of 211.9 million Norwegian kroners. But did they manage to stay on budget? We sat down with Bymiljøetaten to dive into the financial side of the project. Of the total sum, 75% was funded by the state, while Bergen municipality covered 25% of the remaining costs. The bulk of the budget was used for covering the seabed with materials, along with costs for administration, planning, design, and monitoring of the aquatic environment. Completing this ambitious project required close collaborations with key partners, such as Miljødirektoratet, Bergen Havn, Kowi, Bymiljøetaten, Bergen Maritime Museum, and Statsforvalteren. Communication was a cornerstone of this effort. According to Bymiljøetaten, regular meetings and clear communications were the key to their success. Despite the complexity and the number of stakeholders involved, the collaboration ran smoothly, with a shared goal that kept everyone aligned. One of the biggest challenges they faced, the seabed being extremely soft, and this demanded a delicate approach. They chose to apply a thin layer of material, allowing each layer to settle before adding the next. In the end, 3 layers of fine material were laid, each about 10 centimeters thick. Thanks to solid planning, the project was completed without any budget overturns. Careful preparation was one of the main reasons they stayed within the budget. Multiple surveys were carried out before deciding on the best method, which allowed for meticulous planning and accurate cost estimates, laying the foundation for efficient resource use throughout the process. Looking ahead, Bymiljøetaten has set aside a yearly budget of 1 to 2 million Norwegian kroners for further sampling, to continue monitoring the seabed for the next 10 years. After that, the responsibility will shift to the Statsforvalteren and Miljødirektoratet to ensure that the project's long-term goals are met. One important takeaway from Bymiljøetaten is that the seabed has been restored, not the water itself. Swimming conditions remain the same, and the public is advertised to follow the posted signs around the lake. This project has underscored the power of detailed planning throughout surveys and strong collaborations to keep things within both time and budget constraints. The impressive budget of 211.9 million Norwegian kroners for restoring the Store Lungegårdsvann seabed was indeed held. But, however, can we say that the work is completely finished? According to estimates from Bymiljøetaten, the seabed is restored. But what about the quality of the water? What about the surrounding residents? Are they satisfied?
Challenges of this problem. Let's dive into the environmental part of this wicked problem.
Further on, we will be discussing the environmental aspects we have analyzed related to the Store Lungegårdsvann case. This area, located in the heart of Bergen, presents several challenges and also opportunities from an ecological perspective. We have been looking at environmental factors influencing SLV throughout its history, the current challenges we face today, such as various types of runoff and their effects on the water quality, and also the upcoming Bystrand project, along with the stakeholders working to improve the current situation. Our goal is to better understand how these elements interact and what steps can be taken to ensure a balanced and sustainable approach to future developments in the area.
SLV is a brackish water lake that has been heavily modified over the past 150 years. As mentioned earlier, the bottom is characterized by finnic activity along large part of today's shoreline. There are different historical pollution sources for the water. Firstly, there are 3 main polluted land sources in the catchment area. One of these is the old city landfill just south of the water. There are runoffs from urban areas as a surface water discharges to SLV has been established at a depth of 15 meters. Many buildings around the water remained in the period of 1940s to 1980s with polluting painting materials. Wastewater will overflow under heavy rains. Finally, it is heavily polluted by industrial discharges and erosion of materials like boats. For example, in the 1930s, workers dumped typewriters directly into the water. These historical factors have caused environmental problems and risks to human health since the past till today. Now the government is planning to expand the SLV park by using the rock from the Rio Tunnel, but this would overfill the underwater historical heritages, including the world's oldest steamboat, Toppdal. This is opposed by historical protectors and the Maritime Museum.
Despite efforts to cover the polluted seabed, one of the ongoing challenges for the water quality of Store Lungegårdsvann is pollution from urban runoffs. Reports have shown that several sources surrounding the water contribute to this pollution. Runoffs from surrounding roads introduces pollutants like oil, heavy metals, and microplastics into the water. Toxins from paint and rust protective coatings on nearby building and infrastructure also seep into the water. Additionally, contaminants from urban soil, often linked to past industrial activities, are washed into the water. Another source is the toxic anti-fueling paints used on boats to prevent biofueling, which leach harmful chemicals directly into the water. Unfortunately, the structures set up to catch pollutants before they enter the water are not functionally optimally, allowing pollutants to continually flow in. More solutions for managing urban runoffs are essential to ensure long-term improvements that will make the city park and beach viable.
Okay, so fish going back to the Store Lungegårdsvann, this is good for the fish. But how about for us, human? So with all the runoffs and pollution problems that have been going on in the Store Lungegårdsvann, is the water okay enough for human activities, let's say, for swimming? So if you go to the Bergen Kommune's website, there's a list of approved badeplads in Bergen. According to the website, to ensure good swimming water quality, the badeplads are monitored from May to August or sometimes until September. The Store Lungegårdsvann is on the list? Nope. Why? Most probably because of this. In this article from studfest.no, it is stated that the coliform bacteria concentration in the Store Lungegårdsvann is quite higher than it used to be. So, by the way, those coliform bacteria come from the fecal matter runoff and sewage from the urban area surrounding the Store Lungegårdsvann. Ew. Also, up until last year, the warning signage for the water condition was not so clear. But thanks to the article, for now it's changed, giving clear warning and information for those who want to swim there, while with their own risk. When also with the dream of having a clean city beach and improving the signage from this last February to September, the new signage, maybe Bergen Kommune is aiming something like this. So this is a project proposed by Miljöetaten of Bergen Kommune called Bystrand and Lungegårdsparken. It is a new city beach and a recreational park that stretch along the Store Lungegårdsvann. This said project will soon to be a new signature of Bergen, and it consists of 3 zones, like urban blue zones, and then blue-green zones where most of the park will be, and the marine blue zone. So the architect behind the park the proposed city park, have suggested incorporating solutions like natural filtration from vegetation and artificial reefs with mussels and other species to aid infiltration. According to the plan, the park will be designed as a 3-layer cleaning cove to catch and filter most of the runoffs and pollutant coming from the urban area. But the reality is the water condition of Store Lungegårdsvann is still not okay for swimming, right? So then what is the plan to improve it? So we talked to Axel and Martin, the brains behind Urban Ocean, that currently works on a project on improving the Store Lungegårdsvann water quality. So their project includes blue mussel stocking that will improve the water quality by filtrating the water. As a bonus, this installation also works as a habitat for fish and other aquatic organisms. Their project is currently taking place under the Familienshus at Møllendal. Here's a small introduction of Urban Ocean's work.
Vi i Urban Ocean dyrker lavtrofiske arter for å rense vannet og øke biodiversiteten i urbane havområder. Vi ser for oss at det er gode muligheter for oss å jobbe med og utvikle oss innenfor dette fremover. Det haster å fikse vannkvaliteten som vi ser i disse urbane havområdene. Det mye avrenning fra jordbruk og landbruk og kloakk som ødelegger dyreliv og ødelegger vannkvaliteten. Vi ser på entreprenørskap som en mulighet for oss å bidra med noe positivt tilbake til samfunnet.
Now, let's look at the social challenges of this problem.
As Store Lungegårdsvann evolves, we wanted to capture the local voices that shape this place. Based on real conversations we've had, we present a reenactment of their thoughts, stories, and hopes for the area. Let's listen to their perspectives.
We are now standing by the beloved Store Lungegårdsvann in the city of Bergen. Here, the locals are indulging in various recreational activities, such as jogging around the water, boating, and even swimming. The end goal is to make Store Lungegårdsvann and the surrounding area into a healthy and flourishing city park for the inhabitants of Bergen to enjoy. In our report, we will uncover how this project has affected the people using and living around the water area. An important aspect of the municipality's work with the area has been the intention to bring local interests and ideas into consideration in a participatory work model. And so, the question remains, have locals' voices been heard, and has the participatory model delivered to its expectations? Despite its former beauty, this area now faces ongoing challenges which limits public use. Let's hear with the locals and what they think about the ongoing challenges.
I lived there for many years, and I remember when we could use the whole water. Now it's just like some spots that you can use, and I just want to kind of experience having a place to swim again that feels accessible for everyone. But look at these fences. You can barely use any of the water, and I don't know when the fences will be gone. It just feels stuck.
Understandably, the fences are not really that beautiful to look at, and most definitely a hindrance for access in the water. But the water has other access points, such as the dock by Møldal. Let's hear what the locals think about this as an alternative.
We are happy about the dock. It functions very well with stairs to access the waters. The problem is that in the summer it's very crowded, especially when the weather is nice. And for my part, being a little old, I feel as though I'm a hindrance to the youngsters. The dock alone is simply not enough of an access point. We need more tailored access points to the water, and the quicker we get rid of the fences, the better.
So, you also live nearby. How has it been with all the construction going on?
It's frustrating. The construction noise isn't too bad, but everything feels stuck. It's kind of sad walking my dog Roger. Like, there's no greenery. I almost wish they kept the whole park, you know? The park was supposed to be done this year. They haven't even set up the rigging area for all the equipment and stuff. And honestly, at this point, it's just a circus.
Rumors has it that the place for the rigging area has been changed. Actually, it might just come up right here. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, the construction ring was supposed to be by Ado Arena, but now they want to move it to Bergen. And that's right by the old boat club. It's so much history. And also, you see the apartments right here? It's so close to where people live. And also, if you think about the construction dust, we've been living with it for so many years. And, you know, for local businesses like Møldal Fetevare, they had to, at one point, clean their shelf multiple times a day. And is that going to happen again? It's all really, really frustrating.
Let's hear what a local expert has to say about this complex issue.
Maintaining the size of the water is essential. Reducing the size could lead to higher temperatures and poorer air quality in the surrounding neighborhoods. This is something many locals are concerned about, as construction and development projects continue around the area. The gravel used from the Bybanen project to fill out parts of Store Lungegårdsvann is part of a broader urban plan, but was this the right choice? Experts worry that while it may have saved money, it could have unintended environmental and social consequences, as it reduces the water ability to balance local climate and air quality. Air quality is also a pressing concern during the ongoing construction projects. Dust and noise from the Bybanen train developments have caused discomfort for nearby residents. Some people report serious health issues due to the overwhelming amounts of construction dust.
What do you feel about the participatory work that has been done here? How has the communication been?
The communication has been relatively okay. There are Facebook groups like Nei til utfylling av Store Lungegårdsvann that help keep everyone updated, but those are mostly run by local residents. And honestly, people are a bit disappointed with the park design because the choice most people wanted didn't get picked. And I thought the point of this participatory engagement was to involve us and listen to our opinions.
Most of the participatory work was undertaken during the pandemic. How do you think this has affected these discussions?
As you mentioned, a lot of these discussions happened during the pandemic, which made it tough for many to join. And Bergen municipality has tried to hold open meetings and do it on like digitalized platforms and share updates. And at one point they even organized an art project that's something with the children's school and some with like, you know, the art schools in Bergen like KMD and Voss. But still, many locals feel frustrated that we weren't fully heard, especially when it came to the park design. Like, now they're going back again. They're making a smaller park, and that's what we said from the beginning.
And now we will bring these local concerns into a broader discussion together with environmental and economic experts. Good evening, my name is Fredrik Solvang and welcome to the debate. In cities around the world we face the same questions. How do we balance urban development, environmental protection and economic realities? Let's take a trip to Bergen. At Store Lungegårdsvann we now see a massive effort to clean up and improve water quality, an endeavor that has been both costly and challenging. The question is, are we doing enough to ensure that the water remains a safe and clean resource for the future? How do we balance environmental considerations with economic constraints? And what social consequence does this have for those living in the area? We will hear from environmental experts, local residents and representatives from the municipality. But first, let us start with the present situation and the measures that have been taken to improve the water quality. I will first invite the environmental team to present their views.
Despite the covering of the seabed, the quality of the water is still not good enough. One of the biggest issues, runoffs, have not been adequately addressed yet, causing rainwater to continually carry pollutants from roads, construction sites, and other sources into Store Lungegårdsvann. We don't feel like enough measures are being taken to address this.
We have taken significant measures in regards to Store Lungegårdsvann, and because of this, it is better now than it was before. Our priority has been covering the seabed, which we successfully have done. 84 tons of garbage was removed, and we have taken the necessary measures to ensure that the new seabed remains well preserved.
But without proper measures to manage the runoff, we are going to see continued contamination, regardless of the now clean seabed.
We acknowledge the ongoing issue with the water contamination, but our primary responsibility was the seabed, and we have successfully completed that task. Moving forward, it's important that other measures are put in place to address the water quality, but in terms of the seabed, our work is done.
Measures to reduce pollution in the water is good and well, but we are afraid that further measures might postpone the project, limiting the possibilities of accessing the water. Currently, the water is being enjoyed by many, and I have yet to see anybody becoming sick from swimming there. Our main concern is limited accessibility to the water.
It's true that many are currently enjoying the water, but just because no one hasn't gotten sick yet doesn't mean that the water quality is safe or sustainable long term. The water quality is also crucial for the surrounding ecosystems.
Yes, the water is not recommended for swimming, especially not during or shortly after rainy days. Further measures are both required and desirable. We need to know what solutions are economically sustainable.
Let us look into different solutions. What solutions do the environmental experts envision to further improve the water quality?
So we think there should be a bigger focus on filtering of the runoffs, not just covering the seabed. We also think that digging under the Lungegårdsvann could be a solution to create circulation in the water, preventing pollutants from building up inside the Lungegårdsvann.
There is almost no information about the foundation of and around Lungegårdsvann. If we were to dig more than approximately half a meter, the bridge could possibly collapse and other surrounding structures could be damaged. We agree that Lungegårdsvann need water circulation. However, digging under the bridge is not the correct solution. We are in the research stage of finding out optimal solutions.
Honestly, we're feeling overrun. Do you not care about the current accessibility to the water? First, do something about the park area. Then you can experiment with different solutions and improve water quality. You cannot simply overcomplicate the project and leave our beautiful neighborhood in ruins.
Okay, the locals have spoken. Let us turn to the city park, which is to surround the water and bring people in to use it. Surely, the municipality is interested in progressing the project and making it into a beautiful scenery yet again.
Bystranden is to be a place for all the citizens of Bergen to meet, be active and enjoy our city. We've had a comprehensive process choosing from many different architectural firms who are all interested in the project, and we're very excited to carry out the work. In the end, it was project True Blue from White Architecture who won because their solutions to future use, as well as the economic aspect, were effective and well carried out. The jury thought that long-term sustainability and the economic aspects needed to triumph.
But we're the ones who live there and many of us feel left out. Most of us did not want True Blue to win. What was the point of participation if our interests were not taken into account?
We think it's important that the park ensures green areas that foster great biodiversity both on land and in the water. While it's important to create a space for people, we can't lose sight of the environment. We think that the True Blue project is doing a good job on implementing solutions that addresses the runoffs and promote biodiversity, such as natural filtration systems and sustainable landscaping.
But honestly, would not a more simpler park be better for both the environment and the economy? And also for us living there, who's been living in a construction site for years and years and years. And the park was supposed to be done this year. What is happening? It's still just rocks. And we want to invite people to kind of consume and be a part of the environment. And we want like people to be able to play next to the water, but isn't us just making this park also maybe even polluting it again and making it worse? And our human activity might also even threaten the environment. It feels like we're just going in circles.
I think it's important to highlight that you should not underestimate the economic opportunities such a city park might open up. It can create workplaces and stimulate activity, which can improve local businesses and the area. Also, the area can be an iconic landmark to help promote Bergen as an attractive tourist site.
Yes, and I just want to note the importance of doing something with the shoreline. I mean, we cannot leave it as it is today. Today's plan should take the problem of runoff seriously so we can improve the environment. And if the project were to be too simple, I think we might not be able to do that as well.
Surely, this is complex, which seems typical for issues of our time and age. Let us hear with the sustainability experts and hear what they have to say about wicked problems.
Thank you for having me. Listening to this debate, it's clear that Store Lungegårdsvann and the surrounding development represent what we often call a wicked problem. These are issues that are complex, interconnected, and that don't have a single clear solution. Unlike simpler problems, where you can pinpoint the cause and solve it directly, wicked problems involve trade-offs between different goals and values. In this case, we have three key dimensions: economic development, environmental protection, and social well-being. The economic team is right to focus on long-term improvements that could boost the area's value and attractiveness. Cleaning the seabed and creating a city park all have significant economic and social benefits. However, these efforts may have environmental costs that aren't immediately obvious, as the environmental team points out. Without addressing runoff, biodiversity, and pollution from new construction, we risk creating a situation where short-term fixes backfire in the long run. On the other hand, the social team is advocating for the immediate needs of the community, access to usable space now and not in some distant future. Their concerns are valid because people need to live and thrive in the space today. But even accessibility can be undermined if the water quality deteriorates, or if environmental degradation limits what activities the space can support in the future. What makes this a wicked problem is that no solution perfectly satisfies all these concerns. Improving one area might negatively impact another, and if we focus too much on economic growth or making the space attractive for tourism, we might overlook the environmental health of the water. If we focus solely on ecological concerns, we might limit how people can use and enjoy the space. And if we prioritize immediate accessibility, we might sacrifice the long-term sustainability of the entire project. Thus, wicked problems can only be politically resolved for the time being and not fully solved forever. The challenge then is finding the balance between these competing needs. Wicked problems require collaboration and innovative thinking from all parties involved. You won't find a single correct answer, but rather a series of trade-offs that need to be carefully managed over time. Ultimately, we have to accept that some tensions will remain, but by working together, we can create solutions that consider the bigger picture. Solutions that may not be perfect, but that move us closer to a more sustainable future for Store Lungegårdsvann.
Thank you for your insightful reflections. As we now have heard, the problem is indeed wicked and requires willingness to cooperate from people from different backgrounds and opinions. With this in mind, can we find some common ground, or are we forced into even more wickedness?
For our part, we will continue testing the seabed to monitor the effectiveness of the restoration efforts and ensure the long-term success of the project. In addition, ongoing research into water quality remains a priority, and we will place increased focus on this moving forward. Raising awareness about the importance of not discarding waste into Store Lungegårdsvann is also crucial.
And we are committed to allocating funds not only for cleaning up the garbage that unfortunately finds its way back into the water, but also for installing signs around the area to encourage the public's participation in protecting the environment. The True Blue project is all about creating a beautiful, welcoming space for everyone, and we'll make sure that the area stays clean by putting up some good systems in place and getting the community involved to help keep it that way.
It's very good if we get signs which shows how important it is to not pollute. Another good suggestion could be setting up garbage bins around the park.
Yeah, and there's been so much trash. And my dog, Roger, he has to be taken to the vet so many times for eating God knows what. The pollution is super bad. Trash cans can make it a lot easier not to throw the garbage in Store Lungegårdsvann as well. It's a win-win.
And we want to use the area, so getting the project properly started is very important for us.
For years, people have been swimming in Store Lungegårdsvann without knowing the fact that the water quality needs to be improved. As we are about to build a new park and a new city beach, we really hope to see more concrete and sustainable plans to tackle the issue of runoffs and pollution. Hopefully, the water quality will be much better in the future so that both people and other species can enjoy the water.
Solving the Store Lungegårdsvann case here and now is probably too much to ask. but it seems we have found some common ground. Now, we leave it to the deliberative work of the municipality of Bergen to find a proper, sustainable solution. This has been Fredrik Solvang, and you have watched the debate.
As we leave Store Lungegårdsvann, the water itself serves as a potent symbol, a mirror of the tangled ambitions and visions surrounding it. Despite attempts to clean it, its quality remains a contentious point. To some, it's a mark of progress. To others, a sign of lingering neglect. What's clear is that this water, once so central to life in Bergen, now captures the frustration of a community caught between a vision of renewal and the reality of delay. In creating this project, we interviewed a range of stakeholders: local residents, environmental specialists, and representatives from the municipality. What emerged was a chorus of distinct voices, each speaking its own language, shaped by differing values and priorities. The municipality spoke in carefully measured tones, portraying their plans as neutral and factual, perhaps to convey a sense of authority and truth. Environmental specialists communicated with academic precision, offering insights grounded in scientific concern for biodiversity and runoff, while local residents shared emotional and direct perspectives, voices sometimes labeled as overly dramatic or even burdensome, despite the legitimacy of their concerns. The satire then arose naturally, as these perspectives seemed to miss each other, each locked in its own frame. We chose video as our medium precisely to convey this separation, allowing each perspective to take center stage, illustrating the irony of a debate where every voice seems isolated, speaking not to each other, but around each other. In our closing debate, we sought to emphasize this divide, presenting the municipality's polished neutrality, the environmentalists' academic urgency, and the residents' direct appeals. Each voice is valid, yet they clash, rarely connecting, a spectacle of misaligned intentions that captures the wicked problem at the heart of Store Lungegårdsvann. Through this satirical lens, we hope to reveal the complexity and, at times, the absurdity of such divided communication. Perhaps, if local voices had been heard earlier, before the plans were fully set, Store Lungegårdsvann might already be closer to its intended green lung status. Instead, the lake remains a quiet witness to competing visions and unresolved tensions, its waters waiting, like the community, for a vision that truly brings them all together.
By the shores where the waters gleam, beneath the sky a tranquil dream. Lungegårdsvann, our cherished place, a haven of beauty, a warm embrace. So Lungegårdsvann, we stand by your side through trials and changes, with hearts open wide. We'll fight for your waters, your park and your shore. Together we'll nurture forever